Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman as we return to our exclusive interview with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. I spoke to him inside the Ecuadorian embassy in London on Monday. Julian Assange, let's stay with the United States for a moment, with the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which certainly doesn't only involve the United States. But there's a huge debate within the United States about it right now. And I dare say some of that debate is as a result of what WikiLeaks revealed. For some people, this treaty that will determine 40% of the global economy, the only thing that we have seen about it comes from WikiLeaks. Explain what the TPP is and the information that you got, that you put out about this top secret agreement.
Well, the TPP is an international treaty that has 29 different chapters. We have released 4 of them, and we're trying to get the remainder. It's for the information that has been released through the chapters that we got hold of, and through some congressmen who have seen the contents of some of the others, but they are not allowed to write it down.
They can go into a room and look at it.
They can go into a room. It's not formally classified, but it's been treated as if it was classified in terms of how the information is being managed. They go into a room. If they try and take notes, the notes have to be handed over to the government for safekeeping. And of course, congressmen under those situations won't take notes. So it is very well guarded from the press and the majority of people, and even from congressmen. But 600 US companies are part of the process and have been given access to various parts of the TPP. Okay, so it's the largest ever international economic treaty that has ever been negotiated. Very considerably larger than NAFTA. It is mostly not about trade. Only 5 of the 29 chapters are about traditional trade. The others are about regulating the internet, what internet service providers have to collect information. They have to hand it over to companies under certain circumstances. It's about regulating labor, what labor conditions can be applied, regulating whether you can favor local industry, regulating the hospital healthcare system, privatization of hospitals. So essentially every aspect of a modern economy, even banking services, are in the TPP. And so that is erecting and embedding a new ultra-modern neoliberal structure in US law and in the laws of the other countries that are participating, and is putting in a treaty form. And by putting in a treaty form, that means with 14 countries involved, it means it's very, very hard to overturn. So if there's a desire, a democratic desire in the United States to go down a different path, for example, to introduce more public transport, then you can't easily change the TPP treaty because you have to go back and get agreement of the other nations involved. Now, looking at that example, what if the government or a state government decides it wants to build a hospital somewhere, and there's a private hospital has been erected nearby? Well, the TPP gives the constructor of the private hospital the right to sue the government over the loss in expected future profits. This is expected future profits. This is not an actual loss that has been sustained, where there's a desire to be compensated. This is a claim about the future. And we know from similar instruments where governments can be sued over free trade treaties that is used to construct a chilling effect on environmental and health regulation law. For example, Togo, Australia, Uruguay, all being sued by tobacco companies, Philip Morris, the leading one, to prevent them from introducing health warnings on the cigarette packets.
That we have in the United States on our own cigarette packages.
Yes. And it's not even playing field. Let's say you say, okay, well, we're going to make it easier for companies to sue the government. Maybe that's right. Maybe the government is too powerful and companies should have a right to sue the government under various circumstances. But it's only multinationals that get this right. US companies operating purely in the US in relation to investments that happen in the US will not have this right. Whereas large companies that are multinationals that have registrations overseas can structure things such that they're taking an investment in the US, and that then gives them the right to sue the government over it. Now, it's not so easy to get up these cases and win them. However, the chilling effect, the concern that there might be such a case is severe. Each one of these cases, on average, governments spend more than $10 million for each case to defend it, even successfully. So if you have, a city council or a state considering legislation, and then there's a threat from one of these multinationals about expected future profits, they know that even if they have the law on their side, even if this TPP is on their side, they can expect to suffer